Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good e- Welcome to the Imola Grand Prix. I apologize for the tardiness as it was an ad on stream, but tonight we'll be watching round 3 around Imola. As we arrive at the Imola circuit, it is known as one of the most historic and demanding tracks on the calendar itself. Officially known as the Autodromo Enzo de Dino Ferrari, this 4.9-kilometer circuit is a true old school challenge with narrow roads subject to penalties if you're off track, along with the high speed corners which leave very little margin for error as you're going around this circuit. As we had the past 2 weeks, we had two different race winners in this league, keeping it very close in the season so far. For race 1, we had the Aston Martin of Seth who won it, followed by Goat and Cloud on the podium. Then at Mexico for round 2, we had Goat winner with Seth and Cloud on the podium. It seems that they are the main three that everyone is competing to catch up with. However, I would like to make a special introduction to the other individual, Mr. Turtle, who will be joining me in the booth tonight. How are you doing?
Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and wherever you're from. This is your Turtle Commander. I'm doing good, Mike. How are you today?
I am say I'm doing well. You know, it's another race night. I apologize for that as I am going to my other screen. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling excited. It's a tough circuit here, so it's going to be demanding. We'll see what happens early on. How do you feel?
I love Imola. It is just such an intense circuit. Only one place to pass, but you never know. Even with these big cars, you can sometimes, get your nose in and just make sure to force your way through, even through some of these tight corners. We've seen Fernando Alonso do it before. We've seen Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton? I think no, he's too young. Well, anyways, we've seen a lot of drivers do it before, and even in the new era, try to put a nose in like the last sector. So I'm super excited for this race, and I'm super excited to see the caliber of racing Can-Am has to offer. First race, but I do know a lot of the drivers, so I know that this is a very, very strong field. So it's going to be an exciting one today.
I will certainly say so. So as we are, I believe there's a caution sector 3 at the moment, but we have 12 minutes left in this qualifying session. It is only a short qualifying as we do not have a full grid yet. However, the top 9 guys have already put in times ranging from a 114 all the way to a 139. However, that will not be the final times, as I suspect that some people are gonna, whoever finished some polls, definitely gonna be in the 113s. I'm thinking the 113.8s maybe. What do you think about that?
That is fast. Those are some nice lap times. 13.8. I'm all right. Why don't we push them? 13.5 if the boys are listening. Let's go.
Okay. I mean, the more the merrier. But obviously, that being only the first lap, I believe for most of the individuals, we still have about 8 individuals who have not set times. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna say that we'll middle point that. We'll say 113 6.5. We'll say or 7. We'll
Let's
say.
do it.
But yeah, I mean, that long straight is once that DRS opens up, if there is a gap anywhere on the grid, it's just gonna get worse and worse lap after lap. I hope there's not gonna be a safety car, but I do know there's gonna be two different DRS trains going on as it has been for the first 2 weeks.
That is intense. Very esports level style of driving. As we have, there is a sim racing championship going on right now. So, yeah, it's gonna be great to watch. And if that's the case, then we're gonna see us fight at the start, a lot of tailing and probably switching positions just to, essentially carry the draft. And then in the final few laps, it's going to be to teeth and nails pulling, trying to get to the front, and then, or sorry, get into P2 for that DRS ERS combo to pull out in the final sectors. It's gonna be insane, you know? Like, I mean, how we're gonna have to see how confident and some would say ballsy, you know, on the brakes to in those last two corners, as well as throughout the whole sector too, as well. So, because there's a few spots that somebody could really just break late, and if you're confident and don't lock up and send it through, then you could always make it another position. So I'm excited. So far, it's looking so good. Uh, Lucid on his outlap in that beautiful Mercedes.
Without a doubt, I
I'm
just
with.
oh
Sorry,
sorry
go
to
ahead.
interrupt you. My bad.
Oh no, I'm with Steph. Steph's starting a lap in P2 currently with a 114.6 coming into turn one. Nice little chicane. Has a little oh, invalidated after P2 T2. That's unlucky. You were gonna say?
Yes, I was gonna say, you had mentioned the esports league, and I believe they had round seven around Netherlands, and the Ferrari of Barry, I believe, won. So this might be the week of the Ferrari if Vivoda, along with Cloud City, are able to get some Ferrari magic for this week. However, I will say that the Aston Martins have very good team chemistry, that they usually always qualify around each other, and that they're able to connect that to the race, which is always a good thing to have when you have your own teammate fighting around you as a level of protection, but also as a level of okay, we're both together, we could do this, we could push, we cannot, we can get the strategies right. It's always better when you have a teammate with you, just for an extra level of protection. Especially around here, only one long DRS zone. Every other corner is quite intricate. That a few of them you can go too wide, but there's a lot of them that you're lucky to make it through it without getting any penalties, leaving the track. However, we last week I do believe we had about 8 individuals who had penalties, at least ranging from 3 seconds all the way to 12, if I had to guess. But I do imagine that there's going to be a lot more here, just of the fact of how demanding it is, but also how intricate the track can be in some corners.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Those white lines come at you quick. And just now I just caught Cloud City invalidating his lap in the last chicane, which is gutting to say the least. He pits in for a new set of tires, gonna throw on some new boots and head out there again. He still has 7 minutes. Get out there, buddy. But yeah, they 100%. If the boys are gonna be boys, girls, they, thems, if they're all gonna be pushing to the limit and DRS training like crazy, then they got to keep those toes within those white lines. You know, at least two toes in those white lines at all times. And and it's quite easy to just follow the car in front of you and. I've done it before too. Just follow that line and then just boom, go off with them. So um, good thing there's runoff. They updated the circuit after the '94 crash of Senna.
Mm-hmm.
Lot of updates, right? They stopped using this circuit for a long time. I think it was the first time our generation saw it was in 2020 or 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Sadly, 2022 they had the flood, I believe,
Yep.
and then we saw action 23, 24. So, and especially to who can forget Lando chasing Max down last year
Yep.
with not even a lap, a sector to go. He would have had him on the following. So um, this track always offers plenty of action, plenty of tight racing, but it's easy to lose it. I believe it was also George and Bottas that,
Mm-hmm.
George touches the grass, spins out, boom. There you go, huge crash. So anything could happen. Keep those noses tight to the tailpipes, but at least couple millimeters gap, please.
Definitely, without a doubt, most certainly. We actually almost had an incident earlier. It was a final flame in the McLaren and I believe it was Fief and the Haas. They're both going through Sector 3, coming through that last right-hander before you hit the start line. And Flame just broke way too late, knew he wasn't making the corner, but they were both on hot laps. And that's the issue with how short the circuit is. When we get to the last minute here, when everyone's out pushing for the last lap, there's going to be a people in front of you and behind you. So that if you lose it, there's a chance you take out someone else, like the accidents we've seen in racing. However, I do hope and pray that it's clean, that everyone at least gets to throw in one hot lap. Everyone will have a chance to get out for at least one more, as long as they have the tires for it. But it's a detailed circuit. You have to be precise. Any lockups, you're gonna miss the corner. You're gonna run off, and it knocks you down too many places in the race. But
You're
as we go
absolutely
through
right.
with the last 4 minutes of qualifying here, that 1:13.7 time might be looking a little far stretched. However, I still feel that someone is gonna throw a mega lap in and be in the 1:13s.
Yeah, I'm on with Cloud right now. He just started his third attempt, unfortunately invalidated uh 2 laps, so nothing on the board just yet. But could be might have been 1 lap, but I'm gonna say 2 just because I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are. He's now entering into sector 2. Um, I gotta get my track map up. Like I'm trying to count corners. Uh, but yeah, he's coming through right now. About to do that quick and technical corner where Fernando had his overtake, I believe, on Ocon. There it is.
That corner in sector 2, when you make that left and that quick right is always the issue, because if you don't get your car far enough for the entry of, I believe that's corner 6, then you lose out on the tire advantage in the grip exiting corner 7. It's a very tight left right, and you also have the hairpin following up next. And I just know that when I've raced it, I've always lost grip in that corner specifically, but Flame definitely took that very clean. Even coming through the last chicane there, coming down the end of sector 3, where is he able to put his McLaren car? Currently sitting in P16. I reckon he will get into the top 10, but you
You know,
only have
slight lockup.
24% battery left. Yep, slight lockup. With the DRS open, probably going to drain the rest of that 20%. Yep. From P16 to P8, cuts it in half, just shy of P7 by 2/10.
We got Lucid. He's trying to start opening a gap for his next hot lap. 2 minutes left in the quali.
Goat still sitting on provisional pole here with a 1:14.3, currently in the pits, who's going out right now for one more hot lap. But who's going to get pole? It is kind of essential to get pole, but honestly, if you're in 2 or 3, once that DRS opens, it might be just as helpful. Unless you get a great start and you open up a 1 second gap. 2 and 3 might be the better position, as you might even have the better line at the start.
Lucid just starting up his lap. Going into turn 1. Oh, oh, oh. I don't know if that was desync or something, but it jumped all over for me. Seems like he didn't invalidate though, so still on. Who else do we got? I think we got a lot of guys on hot laps right now.
Yeah, it definitely this late in qualifying. You have both kit cars. The second of the kit car, I'm not sure. I believe it's Yuppie getting a little bit of a tow from his teammate, and we have the Gronk who's retired and or on the side there, who is out of qualifying. He can only be in P12th or worse, unfortunately, as everyone still has one lap left to put in. But the Gronk in the McLaren not able to complete his last flyer.
Hmm. Dismal's still in the pits. Uh, Interesting strategy.
He hasn't put a time in at all. There is a chance he's not currently at his rig, but he is here.
It's last the first challenge, Cotton.
It can certainly be done. Look at Lewis at Brazil in that sprint weekend. But we
Anything
only
could
have one
happen.
race. Only one race to do it. 10 seconds left. Everyone is currently on their flyers. Who will move themselves up? And we just had a lag issue with the Mercedes, who had said it went off, but he did not, as we are certainly having issues. But we have four individuals who currently finished their times. We will see of the top of the grid who is able to throw themselves on pole, and or what
Goat,
teammates are able to be on the grid together next to each other.
yeah, Goat Lee just got a purple sector 2 coming up into T19 just passed. He's gonna finish off his lap right now. And we go across the line. 114.2.
Still a mega lap. On board now with
Hitch
MK
invalid.
Hitch. Yep.
Invalidated unfortunately already.
Oh, he did. Yes, I see the all red. Okay.
Seth Seth is complete. Seth just invalidated. Oh no. Into the wall.
Into the wall. Yep. It
Lucy.
looked like one of the other kit cars were like that as well. However, for the individuals left on their flyers, where will they finish? We have one of the Mercedes coming down of Lucid right now.
P3.
P3 for
Nice.
Lucid. Sector
Faint.
1 and 3. Okay, we only have Faint left, who has to complete that last lap with 70% battery left coming across the start line.
I didn't
Not sure
catch
where
it.
he finished until it pops up. P8 for Faint.
P8. Very nice. 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 That was a great qualifying.
So the qualifying grid, Goat Lee on pole after that win last week in Mexico. We have Hitch in the Williams P2, Lucid P3, Cloud P4, the Aston Martins on board together next to each other in 5 and 6. Fate P7. We have the kit car in Faint P8. Thief, the league host, P9. We have the McLaren in 10. And then going down the rest of the grid, we have Coach Fantasy, Vovoda, the Gronk, Yuppie, and for some reason I can't see who is behind the Yuppie, but we will get to it once we start the race. Overall, very good qualifying session, as I wanted to say.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think we may have given him a little bit of commentator curse there, trying to break into the 113s, but I mean, it's possible. Like, it's definitely possible. But with the amount of traffic and everything going around, you gotta like keep thinking of all these different things. It's so easy to just what's it called? You know, lose a tenth here and there just because you're trying to avoid a car or you're weaving through. So, yeah, the it's gonna be an exciting start, that's for sure. And I'm very curious to see how everybody lines up after Sector 1.
Yes, most certainly. What we'll do is, as they are on the grid, we will go to see the race director to see who has what tires at the start, and then once it shows up, we'll leave the interval on, and then at the for the start we'll do the tires. Then as it gets later on, we'll switch things up. We'll take all the edits off so that you can see just the racing. We'll switch through it. But the start here, very long straight going into that tight chicane, that quick left right, to another slight straight. But whoever's ahead at the end of that long straight going into turn one will lead the first lap. Would you rather be ahead in first, or would you rather be second, waiting for that DRS zone to open up?
Honestly, I would want to be in third. Because you line up behind P1. I believe P1's on the outs or is P1 on the inside or the outside at the start?
I
I believe
believe
it's
the outside, further away
the
from the
outside.
garages.
Yeah,
If
yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, so that's where I would want to be because if anything happens in the front, you just move right over, boom, P1 baby. And if not, with the way the game is set up right now, I just want to sit back and relax. It's basically you just want the way this race is gonna go is you want people to take you to the end. and you save those tires, you save that battery, you know, keep it in that, keep in the DRS constantly, never get under that 1 second gap. And I mean, it's right at the end. I believe it's what, like a 30 lap race, like
Hmm.
it's all gonna happen at the end. So that's where I would want to be personally, because there's way too much pressure at the start. And you know, as quick as one can be, if you're going for the more um passive strategy, where you would essentially progressively increase your aggression, um, yeah, to begin and to kind of, I would just want to sit back, relax, and kind of have a reference for where people are braking, turning, entering, exiting, but still do my own race. You know what I mean? That's where I would want to be. What about you?
I can agree to that. However, I think I personally always like being on the hunt, as most people I would say do as well. They would rather not be chased. They would rather do the chasing. Even though you know people behind you, I think that it's a better position to be at least in P2 or further back. I think I am being told to raise my volume as I'm a little bit low. Let me see if I can.
Not just punch in here and there. For me, you sound great. You're great, but but yeah. Uh, Um, if there's any safety cars, so I mean, to me, my style of racing, I would throw on those hards and go for the later stop, or have the hards on and then pray for that there not to be a safety car, right? Which is quite possible, because those mediums, the pace on them, at the end of the race would be incredible. Though one can also put on the mediums and do a one stop as well. Oh, here we go, 5 lights.
So we missed the formation lap as we have the start here right now, and I hope my volume is better. However, Hitch is already up into P1 going to the first corner. We will see who is able to hold on to that lead at the moment. He is still leading. It's been very clean. One of the Ferraris went over the curb there. Not an ideal start to Cloud City. However, let's make sure I have everything on.
Yeah, currently we got Hitch in P1, Goatly P2, Lucid keeps his P3, Seth and Exo up 1 place together, Cloud City losing 2 places from the start, Fate in 7th, Faint in the kit car in P8, Final Flame in P9, Beef in P10 as Goatly runs off track a little bit there. Dismal up 2 places, but the Gronk just taking a few places. What happened? Dismal just fell back. Something happened down there.
Yeah, so it looked like the Gronk moved down a couple places as there was a couple of, I believe, there was a bunch of contact going through that quick hairpin, that left-hand hairpin, and Gronk
Yeah,
definitely lost a few spots there. However, he was able to make them back with, I'm not sure as to who it was, but Gronk up more place and Dismal moving back and forth at the bottom of the grid here in P15 for the positions. However, the top of the grid still staying within each other. And then we have Lucid, who was able to get ahead of EXO, separating those two Aston Martins. But the main attraction was Hitch going in P1 going into lap 1, electing to get ahead early, knowing even though that DRS zone is going to open, he believes that he can at least gain a gap to get ahead to be able to stay the leader of this race.
yeah. So Hitch definitely getting the better launch off the green flag, with those medium tires that he's got on. Goatly definitely having to warm up his hards, so I can see how he loses the position. But as we were talking before, maybe Goatly's gonna now just sit back and kind of work into the race. Though I know he's an eager fella, that would go for the move into T1 if he had it, sniffing Hitch's tail box. But overall, the race is going fairly fine so far. Nothing too crazy. Lucid with 3 second track limits already. Those lines come quick.
They most certainly do. And as we have the fight here for P4, we have the Ferrari getting ahead of the Mercedes, and we also have the Aston Martin coming in, getting ahead of the Mercedes as well. And the Mercedes losing out 2 spots in that one chicane, opening up a slight gap from 10 to 11, a 3 second gap so far, as it was the contact that they had earlier. But the Mercedes down 2 places on that long straight. And just like you were saying earlier, being in P3 is better as you have the trail from the car in front of you, and also, well, you have the trail from the cars. There are 2 ahead of you. So being in P1 would not have been ideal, as that Mercedes was going to that straight.
And Goat Lee has already made I didn't even see the switch, but Goat Lee already made the switch on Hitch, so they are going to be changing positions, I'm sure, no doubt, throughout this race. But Seth throws in the little he's going to be the outlier
X-Factor.
here. Yeah, sorry, I lost the word. But with all this fighting and this close battling, Cloud City just took out 8 tenths out of the 1.6 gap that he just had before, or he was at before. Um, and they, I feel like he's gonna make it up really quickly in this sector one, as these guys are getting really close and having to break a little harder. And with that, I mean, like, even EXO and Lucid will probably come back. So we're gonna see a tight top five coming up with Goatley and Hitch connecting. Oh, and Seth now taking P1. Wow.
And as we saw that, we have Matt Mann in the pits right now. However, we just saw the contact, and there was a bit of a lag issues for the reason that they were inside of each other's cars. However, Seth did get the best of that, up 4 positions so far, currently running in first of this race. We have a 3 second time penalty for fifth off track. I'm going to say there's going to be 9 people who finish the race with penalties. However, coming down this long straight here, the top 7 guys are all fighting for that spot. You have 7 guys racing down one DRS long straight. Who's going to come out leader into turn 1 here, as there's going to be position changes every single lap coming down the straight. And we have final flame in the McLaren, a 3 second time penalty. Very, very early in this race.
Yeah, the gap is within a second into P7, from P1 to P7. Oh, Goat Lee and Seth getting into it with Hitch joining for the ride. Cloud City just on his tail, and EXO saying, "Hello, boys. I'm coming to help." So we got 5 cars just within a no, basically cars with. Oh, EXO slightly losing it on the exit of turn 7, but now going into turn 9. The boys in this fast left-hander take care of it nice and professionally. Everybody tight. Nobody wants to blink. Just prepping for that final straight. Whoa, late braking on Flame, almost kissing EXO's tailpipe. Hello. Hello. 4 places gained for Flame.
I believe that was the issue for EXO. I believe he got contact from the McLaren behind him coming through that hairpin of the corner. However, every single lap, this is the main place to do any overtakes. It's going to come down to it.
Goatley's going for it.
He's
He
got that inside
is
line, but we have the
tough.
Williams coming down the inside as well.
Oh, 2 for 1. Cloud City just watching this. He's got his popcorn in his lap. He's playing piano with Charles Leclerc. He's saying, Lewis, don't do what these guys are doing next season.
He's sitting back watching, but he's ready to take a position away for someone who is going to be defending from him. However, the top 6 guys still running very close in this race, 2 of them having penalties. However, there is a
Flame,
bit of gaps that have been formed already.
yeah, Flame made the switch with EXO. Uh, even with that 3 second, I feel like he has his teeth out and grinning right now, as he's I feel like he's a late breaker, and he just keeps inching closer and closer to Cloud City and the top four. So, what's gonna happen next in this straight? Gonna be quite the show.
The issue that all the drivers are currently having, though, is when do you use your battery on this straight? As Hitch gets the overtake done on Goat Lee in lap 7 of this race, Flame another 3-second time penalty, and it's going to continue to happen. But the issue is always bleeding out your battery on those long straights in hopes that it recharges and that you brake enough so that it recharges even faster to prep yourself. And that McLaren almost taking out the rear end of the Ferrari, losing it as he's going through that chicane there. However, Exo was able to get ahead of him because of that rear loss of traction from Flame.
Ooh, oh, oh! Now it's Tokyo Drift up in here. It's Italy, but Flame is driving in Japan. Tokyo. Uh, yeah, top six are super cool. Oh, he just drifted into that chicane, and there was he didn't miss or anything. Wow, Lucid coming through. I think there may have been a little desync, but that's okay. Uh, as I'm looking down the order, I noticed that if we're looking at position changes, our friend Dismal from P17 up 5 positions, though he has a time penalty. Uh, Looks like he's slightly carving his way through. Um, I know him to be one to go for the bold strategy. So if he comes in early and wants to race it to the end, I would not be surprised.
I would not be either, as I'm currently on board with Cloud City and the Ferrari has 95% battery left. And I reckon that he's able to get the overtake done on somebody this lap, as he is right on the tail of that Williams car, waiting for someone to slip up in the front of the pack in order to get that position change. But I think he's easily able to gonna get at least Hitch on this long straight as they're coming through the last couple corners here in sector 3. Fee for another 3-second time penalty, as Exo and Luce are just trading positions back and forth.
Nice. Yeah, the boys are really close.
80%
With
battery for this Ferrari. Will he get it done?
he seems to be managing, not gonna lie. Uh, Making sure he's within the DRS. He's keeping a half a second gap. Everybody's kind of slowing down in front of him, so he doesn't have to push, right? And if you can manage those tires, then it's all about strategy after that. Like Goat Lee, Seth, and Hitch right now. I mean, Goat Lee's on those hard, but Seth and Hitch, they're gonna be like you just see that twitch with Seth. Like
Yep.
his rears are begging for mercy. And I think Hitch as well. I think Hitch has noticed that he needs to cool it a little bit. And you see there's a little bit of a gap here. And Goat Lee is just gonna keep putting the thumb to that pressure point for Seth until Seth uh boxes, I feel like.
Definitely. There's
Uh,
currently a 1 second gap to Lucid. Do you think he'll be able to shorten it?
1 second gap to see the thing is, yeah, Lucid's on those hards. Oh, I think he just did
He
shorten it.
just
I
did.
think he just did shorten it. I
He
think he just
just
took that
did.
one
He
and a
heard
half.
us. He heard us. Shorten the gap. Now he's trailing down on that Ferrari car as we have another
Um,
position change.
yeah, unfortunately he didn't get the DRS, but yeah, he can work his way through sector one, and oh, yep, he can work his way through sector one and prep himself for the next straight.
So we're
I'm gonna
hopping
switch
down
over.
to the bottom of the grid here in P12, 13, and 14, along with P15 and Voda, fighting for the P12 spot as they are all within the DRS gap. However, the front of the grid is coming to start coming around. Fate with the 3-second time penalty. They're starting to come around to the cars at the bottom of the grid, and they will soon lap them. And luckily that there is the issue that if you are going to lap someone, it ghosts them, so there's no issues. However, you still have to go through a car through a couple corners. So let's see if everyone is able to keep focused to make sure that they know what they're doing. They know they're not going to get in contact. Flame, 10-second penalty for corner cutting. That is not going to help him currently in this race, running in P11. But we have two different DRS gaps, the top of the grid and the middle of the grid. However, 9 and 10 are separated by 3 seconds, along with 2 seconds. So let's see what things spice up with this pit soon. I reckon the medium tires will do 18 laps max. You'll have no rear threading. But we have the Yuppie getting ahead of Coach Fantasy in the Alpine. And we have a DNF from Final Flame coming through Sector 1.
Yeah, he retired in the pits.
Okay.
That 10 second is gutting. Super. Corner cutting 10 second. Damn, man, like
It
that.
was.
Yeah, that. I don't know. EA is a little harsh on those things, I find. Uh, damn, 10 second
We
corner
have
cutting.
Madman in the Alpine who just lost it at the end of Sector 3. But he's back running. We have the other Alpine. I believe he got a warning there, if I had to guess. He was very far off the track, losing his back, and those medium rear tires are starting to go very quick here.
Yeah, everybody's getting more twitchy. It's starting to look like an ice rink out there for them, and it doesn't snow in Italy that often. Gotta go into the mountains for those. But
Ferrari into
yeah,
P3. Cloud City getting ahead of Seth here as Goat has extended a 1.5 second lead, but that Ferrari saw an opportunity and went for it. He was waiting for it, but Dismal on the back. Oh, there is lag issues. But Dismal is right there with the pack as well. I mean, Lucid, I'm sorry. Lucid is right there with the pack.
I was like, this one made a big jump there. I was like,
I was looking at him, but
man.
talking about the other Mercedes.
No, you're good, you're good.
But Lucid now ahead, fighting for that chicane, and he got ahead.
Yeah, Cloud City, just minding his time. Him and Hitch definitely now managing. Goat Lee making his gap, trying to get away. Definitely trying to make sure that he can be safe through the start finish straight. But then again, I think this is where now strategy comes in. How long can your tires go? Uh, I'm sure everybody's praying for a safety car right now, just for the free tire change, and then it changes up all the strategy. Cloud City making the pass down the straight. Um, but if there is no safety car, then the one stop from the medium to the hards, uh, I think that's gonna be the meta strategy here, because if the if we've seen from down the pack right now that the mediums are causing people to, slide, twitch, and whatnot, and get penalties, then, you know, 13 laps. I think two more laps, 15, and then they're gonna be diving into those pits for a new set of anythings.
That is without a doubt. And as you were saying all that, we had the top 4 currently get penalties. We have Cloud City now with a 3-second penalty, along with Lucid, a 3-second time penalty. The way to win this race is with having no penalties, I will say.
Yeah, you're
Especially here,
absolutely right.
especially here, regardless of if there's a safety car or not, you cannot have any penalties. You can have a few warnings, fine. The second you have penalties, it's going to hurt you at the end of this race as long as you are in a fight. But we have Mel Gibson another penalty, but we have Hitch getting ahead of that Ferrari. But I will say the Ferrari not very eager to push very on, saving those hard tires. definitely helped him get to that P3 position, but he is currently being hunted by Lucid, who's being hunted by Seth. There is no time to sit back and relax when you're behind the wheel right now, as we have the top 7 guys all within half a second of each other, as we have another position change from Lucid getting ahead of Cloud City into P3. There is too much madness going on here very early in this race, as we still have another half of a race to run.
Yeah, I I don't know. I don't know about you, but for me, Lucy be jumping all over the screens. It's
I
just
see
kind of
it.
like I'm like, ah, I'm kind of, I'm very nervous here, as well as we see. I think that's Matt Man who went off to let the pack through.
Yep.
Uh, I'll just go through the penalties quickly. So we got Lucid with the 6 second right now, Cloud City with the 3 second, Seth with the 6 second, Fate with the 3 second, Thief with the 6 second, Dizzle with the 3 second, Mel Gibson with the 3 second, and Mattman94 with the 3 second. You're absolutely right. Those with no pens are definitely going to be the. Did I just see rain?
There is rain. It seems to be raining now, or it's going to
Ladies and
start to.
gentlemen, we have another. I haven't seen rain in so long in
Oh,
my
we have
league.
the Seth out of this race unless he's able to keep the car running, but he definitely needs a new wing. Most certainly, maybe even a
No.
new wheel. But Seth down into P6 right now as he lost it. Could it have been due to the rain? I think so.
Yeah, and those mediums are worn, but the track still looks good. Does he switch? What is he gonna do? Or does he keep it out for another lap and just hope and pray that the conditions get worse? I mean, the rain's coming, but is it coming down hard enough that you need to switch to those inters? Because if you switch to those inters right now, they're going to melt, baby, and there's no pace in them, zero pace. So what is he going to do,
No
Seth?
pace. I was just saying no pace, but he needs a front wing. He needs it
He needs
here.
a front wing. You're
Some
absolutely
tracks,
right.
some tracks you can most certainly get away with it, but not here. Not for these detailed, intricate corners. You have to be able to be precise here, or else you're going to keep on getting penalties. And he currently already has 6. So I'm going
Yeah,
to
Seth
say,
just dived into the pits.
yep, I was about to say that, yep. You guys are
Uh,
getting some more rain here, though. A little bit more.
okay, this is getting exciting. I gotta get a beer. 1 second.
We have contact from the Mercedes along with Hitch running P2 and P3. Currently, Goat Lee gaining his lead by 3 seconds at this moment. However, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all fighting for those podium spots as it gets a little bit wetter here as we're seeing more rain. Those medium tires cannot be that grippy anymore, but the hard tires most certainly still have some life in them, ever so slightly. But we'll see who is able to get the braking points correct in this rain. We will see when they pit. And the Williams is able to stay ahead, but the DRS is still open as we have the Mercedes car. Don't worry about the lag issues. Unless someone hits the wall, we'll see it. However, this Mercedes car right on the gearbox of the Williams, followed by Feint in the kick, followed by Fate in the Haas. Seth, another penalty as we have 3 of the top grid going into pit right now. Will they elect for inters? The bottom of the grid has already elected for inters, and I believe Seth got a new wing as well. However, Goatley staying out, Lucid staying out, Thief staying out. We have Fate, Fawn, and Hitch all in the pits right now. All coming out on those inter tires as they feel that the rain is going to keep on coming down for at least a couple more laps. We will see how long this rain lasts for, because everyone still has soft tires ready to go if the rain stops by lap 28 and those inters get worn through. As Goatley now has a penalty as the top of the grid, or at least all fighting for a chance to win. But
This
if Gronk
is
stays within, at least if Goatley suffers another penalty, Gronk has to be at least behind 6 seconds of everyone, and he will win this race. Anyone who does not have penalties has to start pushing the second they get those new tires on.
Uh, I can't believe people jumped over to the Inters.
Quick. Half
Quit.
completed. Yep. The top 8 guys all running the hard tires, along with EXO, who we have the bottom of the grid all electing to go on the inters instead of waiting for it to get a little bit wetter. But I would say what I always did was the second the DRS is disabled, that's when you know it's time for wets because they've
So
elected to take it away.
yeah, exactly. There's also one more telltale sign is that the track gets like dark but shiny. Uh, and sometimes you could see that yeah, the racing line is there, but the outsides are dark and shiny. You might want to switch by then because there's that one lamp where you can heat them up properly. Because once the rain starts coming, it's you know, trying you it gets wet, tires get cold. You know, though the inters do want to be cold, you still want to have some temp in them.
Yep, as
Oh, Vivo.
yeah, I was about to say the second those inters get ahead, with Voda losing a position out on those 17 lap old hard tires, I say that they will pit in the next 2 laps, seeing that the gaps that are forming already from those inters fate with another penalty, and we have Goalie into the pits. We will see if the top of the grid elects to pit as well, as we're going to start head over to them. Yes, Lucid
Lucy keeps.
staying out. Does
Ooh.
Gronk go in? Gronk does not go in. Cloud City coming around this last corner here.
Faint and
Seem
Yuppie just switched, so I think Yuppie's struggling right now.
on
I
those hard
think
tires.
we're at the switchover. I think we're at the switchover.
Lap
Oh,
8.
there's a yellow flag.
Caution sector 3. I believe it's Matman again losing it
Yeah, he
somewhere.
just got on his way. Sector 3. He's coming up into turn 17 right now.
So Hitch with the interesting strategy choosing to put on the hard tires instead of when else everyone went in for inters. He said,
Oh,
"Nope, I'm staying out on
I've
the hards."
done this before. I've done this before. If the rain, it's a weird kind of. I don't want to call it a glitch, but there was this I had this once in Singapore where I stayed on mediums where the pack switched over to inters. Um and I ended up actually finishing the race on those mediums, but I did lose a position. Ended up P2, but it was just it was just enough that, you know, the slicks still had some. Oh no! Did you see that? Oh,
No.
sorry. My bad. Hitch just Tokyo drifted through the last chicane at 14:15 on those brand new hards. Just as I'm talking about how he could make them work.
He could make him work, but he's going to lose out to position here with
Yeah,
Goat
Goat
Lee.
Lee. Goat Lee with his tiger teeth open right now. He's got that DRS. DRS still. How is there DRS still? I'm looking at your screen.
It's not wet
How
enough.
is there DRS?
It's not
I
wet
know,
enough.
but the rain is coming.
Yeah, but there's a certain threshold, I believe, for when they turn off the DRS, and that is the time to be on the inters. That is why I think Hitch elected to stay out momentarily, but losing a position there to those inter tires due to the fact you have more grip, because the hards are slicks. You don't get any of the water removing from underneath the tire as you have in the slicks. You have a lot more threading going on, but
Yeah, you're
we still
absolutely
have
correct.
12 more laps here. 12 more laps to decide a winner. But
Yeah, the
Lucid,
pressured tires will have so much more grip.
later on in the race too, if this rain stays like this, maybe Hitch elects to go onto the inters. However, or if he's playing the I'm just going to pit now, hope for a penalty, as DRS is now disabled. Now they're saying it's too wet.
Oh,
So
I was thinking it
those
would have been
slicks,
one more lap. That's great.
those slicks are going to be even slicker in a few
Yeah,
laps. Call him Slick
it,
Rick.
Slick Rick. Just as you say that, Slick Hitch uh just went drifting through 18, 19. I was looking at that pit entrance like he's gonna do it this time. Nope. He keeps going as Lucid pits for a set of the wet boots. Gronk though. Gronk. with the big shield and the toughness. He's gonna rock those hards, 20 lap old hards. But he's got Goatly breathing down his throat. Oh,
He's gonna
oh,
if he elects to pit within the next few laps, I think he might get out in P8, P9, depending on the pit time. But
that's what I was
he's one
thinking
of
too.
the other individuals, one of I believe 5 of the individuals who don't have any penalties. So very important to stay within those racing lines for the next 11 laps. As we have on board here with Lucid, who almost went
Wait, but
outside the
I'm.
racing line, but he's held it. He held it.
Oh yeah, Gronk. Yeah, and Goatly passes. Goatly gets through. Gronk hasn't stopped though. That's the thing. He's going to have to stop
That
because he
is
can't
correct.
finish the race without stopping. So I think now is the time. What do you think, Gronk, my man? He says no. He
He
says, "I know you, turtle. Shut your mouth." Wait, what was the? Oh, The Rock would say it all the time. Shut your cotton mouth. Or, anyways, that's a bad reference. The Gronk. Still with no stop in P2. Goatly now making a little bit of a gap, but I think he just went off a little. No, no, that wasn't Goatly.
Fate
Um,
ahead of Hitch. Faint ahead of Hitch. Hitch lost
yeah,
2
faint.
places,
Yeah,
losing it there, as he's on those hard tires. And that is not ideal right now to be in those hard tires in this weather condition at the moment. However, another penalty for Cloud City and the Ferrari, who was
oh my
onto P3,
goodness.
currently sitting P8. But 2, 3, and 4 are just swapping back and forth. No DRS active. Gronk, a penalty.
Gronk gets
Now
the three
Faint in the kit
second
car, the
now.
only individual who just passed Gronk on those hard tires. He is on the hard tires. Those tires have to be gone. He's going to have to come in this lap. If he doesn't, yeah, there's no threading. He's off track almost every corner.
He's gonna be fighting with Yuppie. No, not even Yuppie. He's gonna go further. He's gonna be like with Dismal, I think. Dismal and Coach Fantasy.
He might be able to
Because
get ahead of Yuppie. I would probably say it's a
it's
26-second pit, but we will
26.
see.
Yeah, yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, we will see where he comes out. Currently sitting P5. I'm going to say he comes out P10 right behind Yuppie. On those fresh tires, though. Very late in this race on fresh tires.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Hitch,
so that's the
Hitch in the pits as well.
strategy.
Hitch
We got
the
9
second
laps to
pit.
go.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I love rain. Oh, Faith loses it. Oh, Faith in P3 just lost it coming out of 6, 5 and 6 like you were saying, that fast chicane. Keeps it in P3, but now the gap to Fate is 6 seconds, 6.7 seconds now, sorry. So Fate covers his pen time. So if he can catch up to Goat Lee and then pass him and make a 3 second gap, Fate could keep P1.
It most certainly can happen, as right now is the time to shorten any gaps if you need to. You don't want to wait for the last couple of laps. Get as close as you can now and just maintain those gaps. Because you have the fresh tires to push, along with everyone else, though. But these are the biggest gaps we've seen so far in this league, due to the fact that the rain, it changes things up for everyone. It most
Yeah,
certainly. Oh wait, I was actually looking at the leader. We need to look at the interval, and I
and
apologize for that.
everybody
We still have big
everybody
gaps.
has dry setups on, so they probably quickly when that rain started coming down, switched over their diffs to the front, and yeah, probably when they got into the pits, made a little bit of a front wing adjustment. I wouldn't go too crazy with it in case this rain stops in the next 8 laps. If the rain stops within like 6 laps and we have like a 1 lap shootout, oh, that would be crazy. EA would really be turning the key on everybody today. Yeah,
You know,
you actually called it perfectly. Gronk did end up right behind Yuppie.
and losing out of position to Hitch, who came into the pits right behind him by a couple seconds as well. So Hitch definitely faster on those intermediate tires. Let's see where he's able to finish, as he was in the top three for the majority of this race. However, the individuals with no penalties, Faint in the kit car running in P4, Yuppie, the other kit car running in P7, Exo and Vovoda in 10, in 11 and 12, I apologize, running with no penalties, who will certainly get bumped up on this grid as long as they are within the gaps of the drivers ahead of them. But the individual with the most penalties so far, Thief, in the Haas car running in P5, going to get knocked down. So he is the one individual who has to push, get the biggest advantage over everyone below him. But 8 laps to go in this race. The
I
rain
just
does
want to
not stop.
say, Yuppie with 7 positions gained, pretty impressive. And Fate in P2 with 5 positions gained. That's, you know, that's really commendable for how this race has been going. It's definitely been quite a sporadic one. No safety cars though, right? So,
Nope.
uh, thank God for the rain because that switches everything out.
Most certainly. It we like I was saying to you earlier, or it might have been yesterday, there is very little chance of safety cars here in Can-Am. It's just the complexity of the drivers, keeping it very clean, giving just enough space to the next driver, keeping it classy. But even with the weather we have, there's still, I'm going to say, not going to be a safety car. And if there is, no one is going to go into pits, as we only have 7 laps here left in this race, or going on 6.
It's still super exciting race, like you said, with all the penalties that have been accumulated, and the ones without penalties. Who can survive to the end? Everyone who perseveres to that checkered flag, uh, definitely will see a position change, right? We'll see something different. So, fight,
Gronk
gain
DNF. Gronk
gaps.
DNF.
Oh,
He flew off. I'm not sure as to what happened, but he just went straight off. And we have a double McLaren DNF here, as we have a safety car.
safety car!
Just as I said, it's no chance. We're going to see who elects the pits. The top of the grid losing out on that safety car. But Yuppie,
Oh,
the
who's in
first
first?
individual in, Yuppie, in P8,
Yuppie with no pants too. Oh, this
as we
man.
have an add-on stream right in time for the safety car. Perfect time to get a water.
Yeah, coffee. No way. Holy moly. Where do we chat about these things? Tier 1 season discussion.
Goatley in the pits. Lucid a
Go.
drive-through penalty. Lucid a drive-through penalty. Currently sitting in P3.
No way. No way. Okay, uh, I know. Okay, I should have said it probably yesterday when I said I wonder what commentators curse I'll bring, but come on. How convenient is that? We're talking about safety cars and
And then it happens. But I wish we were watching the onboard with him, as he looked like he went straight off coming through that first left-hander at the end of the lap here in Sector 3. It looked like he just went straight off. It could have been
yeah,
a rig
if you
issue, lost connection it seemed to be, but there was no chance. He didn't even try to move. He kind of just like went straight off. And that is what
maybe I
caused the safety car.
maybe I could would it be the F1 chat or the general chat or is it the season chat that I should maybe I could get some insight
Mm,
slowing down. Oh, Lucid is saying he got the drive through even though he was slowing down already into those pits. Shame. That sucks.
most
Gronk.
certainly not ideal.
Oh, what did I do? Wrong one. Uh,
As I currently have rain here in New York. I'm hearing the rain hit
Wait.
my AC unit. It's almost identical to the rain we're currently hearing in Italy.
So,
Oh, Gronk said
do you
my
think
brake.
Yuppie?
His
No.
brake must have broke. He just said it in the Twitch stream.
No. Do you think Yuppie got a Delta after that pit? I I honestly, I'm just gonna say flat out, I hate when that EA has not fixed the Delta under safety car once like the safety car picks up the first car because like anytime a driver gets like that like super lucky chance to dive in the pits first and like get your new boots on under safety car, you come out, boom, Delta can't do anything. You should be able to fly and pass everybody to catch up to that safety car when it's out.
You
It
you should be able
blows
to.
my mind. It
Correct.
blows my mind. It happened in Dismal in the league that in the no assist division I run in another league, and I was just like, it's just so gutting. It's like even if I'm not driving, like that feeling, I know that feeling, and it's like, man, you're so hyped. You're like, I'm in. I got the new boots. I'm gonna get past everyone. You come out of those pits, and they're like slow down to like a 5 second delta. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah. Ugh. I just it's just major pain. Major pain. I know everybody like talks about it. It's well known throughout the community, but God, fix it. Fix it. Don't change the sponsor on the Williams car or the Haas. Like they put Chipotle on the Haas, but they can't take the Delta off the safety car. What is this, EA? All right. And that's my TED talk.
It is not ideal, but Mr. Gronk, I'm gonna text you. Why can't
In the Discord, Gronk said it's not the same McLaren as he had last year. He said the upgrades aren't upgrading.
I? Unfortunate to see the double McLaren DNF, but it spices things up for the rest of the grid. As we have Lucid with a drive-through penalty that he cannot serve until that safety car is out, and with the big gaps of Vovoda along with Mel Gibson, actually that is Matman. I think that they'll do one more lap. They'll let the Ferrari catch up, but I don't think they're going to let Matman catch up as he is way too far behind, over a second. And I just don't think that the safety car is going to wait. I believe they're going to do 2 full laps. Obviously, DRS is disabled, but Faint Fawn and EXO currently in the prime position here. Late safety cars, no penalties, everyone ahead of them has penalties. You have to stay within 3 seconds of the leader, and one of them wins this race, I reckon.
It's oh, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be a show. What are we in third sector? We should be after the chicane. We should get a message. If we don't, then Matman has been sent a blessing. Where's Mel Gibson in this pack? Is he like in the middle? So he's gonna be shown blue flags immediately as the green flag goes out. Oh yeah, but you guys got ghosting on, so everybody's just gonna drive through him. Yeah, here we go. As predicted, right after the chicane, safety car goes off, and we got Fate bunching up the pack. When will he go? Who will know? Only him. Only him. Uh, Though not so but oh here's the bunching. Here's the bunching. You think he's gonna take him to the line? Or you think he's just gonna you can't have wheel spin, that's the thing. If you get any wheel spin here,
He needs his
finished.
teammate to catch up, though, forming a little bit of a gap. And Lucid can't even go into the pits yet. He's going to have to serve it on the next lap here. But he wants to get ahead. As there was contact, the Mercedes and the Haas car, it looked like the Mercedes lost some wing here. However, he is ahead going into corner one. And Fate losing it, but
Oh,
keeping the car on track. They're getting in front of his teammate in Thief as they're going three
go!
wide, and there's an accident, and we have Goatley out of this race, who was currently on pole earlier in the race.
No.
Goatley out of this race from Fate and the other Haas of Thief, causing accidents there. That was not what you expected here. But Faint,
Every
Faint in the kit car running behind Lucid of the drive-through. So much action going on. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but currently running lead race basically with that drive-through penalty of Lucid, as we have the Haas car lose it in Fate, getting past, losing it.
It's- yeah, there's a lot of action going on here right now. Cloud coming back up into P3. Fame Fawn just needs to keep it on track right now, not go crazy. Let Lucid take that drive through, and then you can just. Oh, and there's no more rain. There's no more rain. Everybody's on inters, and there's no more rain. Pit, 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 pit.
There's 2 laps to go. Do you think anyone goes in?
Oh, if
Nobody
someone
goes
goes
in.
in, they could do it. If someone goes in, they'll make positions. That's for
Lucid doesn't
sure.
even go in. Lucid's going to finish this race and just elect to serve it at the end of this race, and he'll be disqualified.
Yeah, he's gonna
EXO
be
and Yuppie,
disqualified.
EXO and Yuppie need to shorten them gaps. Needs to shorten them gaps, and they will be on the podium as well with the penalties that are served ahead. And this is getting spicy, very
Oh,
spicy,
the thing is that after this lap, those inters, they're gonna be gone.
hot. They're gonna
They're
be
gonna be
red hot.
gone. There's gonna be no grip. The thread is gonna be gone. You're gonna be praying that they turn into slicks like in Turkey in 2021, was it? Oh my God.
Thief with
No,
another penalty.
2020.
Yep.
Thief with 35 seconds of penalties.
Seth also with 18 seconds, and Mattman staying in P14 with the 3 DNFs has 19 seconds of penalties.
You persevere to the end. This is what happens. You don't finish last. Oh, wow, faint. Just keep it on track, brother.
One more lap. Starting the last lap here, as we have had a ton of mayhem, and this is where Lucid goes in to serve the penalty in hopes that he can at least come out at some point to try and get some of a gap to get ahead and finish with some points. However, it does not look like it, but with all the penalties ahead, we will see. But the man of
Hitch
the hour, Faint Fawn in the kit car, currently running P1 in this race.
on the last lap. Cloud and Hitch. Hitch right on Cloud City's tailpipe. Just got to keep it clean, but those tires are falling from beneath them. All of them. All of them is what's crazy here. The sun is out in Imola right now, and we're watching F1 drivers drive on intermediate tires. Is this an esport Q quali banker lap right now? What is going on?
Faint up 7 positions from where he started in P8.
That's
Dismal up 10
incredible.
positions from where he started in P17. But the two
That's
individuals who had the
incredible.
worst luck. Lucid with the DNF down into 12th after starting P3. And it's just mayhem coming through Sector 3 here as Faint Fawn starts the long straight here.
Oh, everybody on their batteries. Here we go. Right to
Faint
the
Fawn,
end.
the race winner. Faint Fawn Hitch P2, Cloud City P3.
That's
As
your
where does
podium.
EXO finish? He stays in P4, not able to get ahead. As we have Voda, the Yuppie, Dismal, Coach Fantasy, Fate, Seth, Thief, Lucid, Mel Gibson, and then Mattman to finish off this race. As this
Dismal
was
with 10 positions. That's wild.
10 positions. But the man of the hour, the individual who started P8 in the kit car, Faint Fawn, taking advantage of those wet conditions, watching everything unfold in front of him, staying behind, staying safe, and winning this race.
Wow. What an intense race. That was my first Can-Am race, and I am glad I was able to participate. Holy moly. My man, that was wow. Who would have thought that goat would have tried to make the two-person overtake on the outside of that chicane and then just get dropped? They like I guess he lost like the front tire and then DNF'd. But and then Dismal up 10 positions. Oh my goodness, I'll let you go.
It is all good, man. One of the craziest races I have commentated and or witnessed in Can-Am. One of the few races with a safety car. However, the individuals that you would have not expected it taking advantage of the conditions and making a name for themselves here tonight on this beautiful Wednesday evening in Imola. Slight rain that was unexpected, but the top three that we will be doing interviews with soon: Faint Fawn in the kick, Hitch in the Williams, and Cloud City in the Ferrari on the podium. We have yet to see a double podium out of a team, and I believe one is coming next week for some reason. I have a feeling it's gonna happen, but solid racing out of everyone. Very clean. Some lag issues, that's not our problem. However, an overall solid performance out of all of the drivers racing here today. What do you think about it?
Yeah, that was incredible. I mean, the start of the race, everybody was thinking it's going to be straightforward, one stopper. A few touches here, a few penalties there. Anything could have happened. We're watching, just, you know, seeing everybody go. Then here we go. Drip, drop, drip, drop. Here come the F1 gods, commentator curses, safety cars, last lap battles, DNFs. Wow. You don't get a better you don't get a better race than that. I mean, that's what every F1 lover, I guess, fan would wants every weekend, right? IRL or in the virtual. So that was an incredible race to watch, incredible race to commentate. So glad I was here with you, Mike. Uh, yeah, loved it. Loved it, man.
It was a great one, and as I just pinned the drivers to be ready for interviews, we will wait for them to at least pop up in their own voice chats, and once I see them, I will drag them in. However, not everyone will do it, but we can pull the Ferrari in first, as he is the one individual on, and let's get to it.
Hit.
Cloud,
Hey,
you are in the interview room.
surprisingly, yes.
How did you feel about your performance today? It was a phenomenal race, very tough with the weather change, but finishing P3. How did you feel?
Felt pretty good. I was debating on staying out on the hards because the weather before the race said there was only one cloud of rain, but then I decided to go in because I always regret my decisions and it paid off in the end, but I don't know, I feel like I might get a penalty in the end for blocking the guy who placed P4 or no, P2, sorry.
Hitch?
But yeah, Hitch. I don't know. Depending on if I can appeal my track limits or not, or if they just stand, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with the result.
Good.
Cloud brother, it's Turtle over here.
Hey,
Hey man, you were looking like you were just sitting and enjoying the show at the start of the race there. How was that?
yeah, it was. I was gonna make a move probably in the next few laps, but I don't know. I four cars battling is a bit much. Three's a bit much too. So I just kind of there was really no opportunities to get up there. There's no point really.
No, and we were talking about it throughout the race. It was like you could sit back and relax and watch that thing go, or battle and risk it all for the biscuit at the end there. So I was really
Yeah.
glad to see you at the top because that whole uh that whole time uh I could see everybody just jumping up and down in the pack. So It was really interesting to see you pop right back up at the end there. How did you feel going on those inters when you did?
Uh, Pretty good. Yeah, I think it was definitely the right call. As soon as I started seeing puddles on the track, I knew it was time. But it, yeah, I don't know. But then I got unlucky in the beginning with because I started on mediums, went to hards, whereas the hard runners from the beginning could go straight to the intermediate. So I was basically down a pit stop early on. But I don't know, made the most of it.
The F1 gods were watching down on you today because you
Oh
ended
yeah,
up on the podium, so that's awesome.
I know a few surprised faces on the podium.
That's how it is
hmm
with racing. That's exactly how it
Yeah,
goes. You take advantage from other people when things happen, especially in front of you while you're racing at 170 kilometers an hour plus. But
yeah.
hell of a performance. Are you looking forward to next week?
What is next week?
That's a great question. Um, Let me find that out. As I should know this as one of the commentators, but
But as you're looking for that, I guess, really, really impressive driving there, Cloud. I mean, love watching you race all the time. In ERA, in KMM, you're a great driver, and good job to you, man.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks.
and we will see you in Austria next week.
Oh, I like Austria. It's gonna be a lot of action there. 100%.
Without a doubt, let's hope for no rain, but I hope that you have a phenomenal evening, Cloud. Great driving, and we will see you next week.
Thanks to you guys as well.
Ciao, brother.
Ciao.
Alright, so the other two individuals have not said anything yet, so that might be all the interviews for tonight, but we will give them another minute to see. Let's pin them again just to make sure.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, faith, flame? No, well,
Faint,
forgive
faint.
me. Faint. Yeah, me almost fainting. Um, yeah, man, that was incredible on him to be where he was when he was, you know, and to avoid what went down in front of him, to collect that P1 and then just be able to put his head down, keep his concentration, and bring that car home to the flag. Uh, that's something that, when you're in it and it happens, I know for myself, I can feel like my forearms and my elbows shaking at that time because all like not only is it like an anxiety and an adrenaline, but you got to keep that concentration and telling yourself like still a race. There's still a race to go. You're in P1, but you're still in a race to go. It's really a testament to the drivers. So, good on him. Hitch coming up in P2. That man was battling for the lead since the beginning of the race. And to finish off in P2 still with everything going down. Great drive. As we said, Cloud uh, went to the top, dropped to the bottom, came back up, lost a pit stop, ends up on the podium. You just, you can't call a better race than that, man. So that was a great time, Michael. That was a great time.
It was certainly a great one to witness, as we have not heard anything yet from them, so I believe we will do the conclusion for this stream.
Sounds good.
And then, as we look forward to Austria next week, Faint would like to say that his driving did all the talking, that he does not want to do an interview, and that is a fact. That what he
Yeah,
showed tonight showed why he was drafted to that kick team. However, looking forward to next week, as I totally expect to see a lot more racing. Let's hope for no rain. However, if I just jinxed it, so be it. However, another tight, intricate, detailed track, a couple more DRS zones, tighter corners, which allowed to go too wide, but I believe we will see better overall racing, and we might even see a different individual win the race next week. But Any conclusions on tonight? Anything to look forward to for next week?
Imola, great track. All the racers did an incredible race. Big applause to Can-Am, Tier 1. Um, Austria, next week, small track, quick track. Uh, there's gonna be blue flags. There's gonna be cars in the way. Uh, like you said, you probably can get too wide. If we see three wides, woo, we're gonna see some action. Very exciting. Yeah. You hope no rain. I hope rain. I will be doing my rain dance. So, everybody get ready, prep those setups, 'cause it's gonna be a fun one.
It most certainly will. And exiting live from New York at almost 10:30. I hope everyone watching has a phenomenal evening. To anyone who witnessed it on YouTube, I hope you have a phenomenal evening as well. And Mr. Turtle, I hope you as well have a phenomenal evening, and we will be back at it next week.
We'll be back.
Peace.
Peace.